what's happening, YTBC? It's George 416 Piper here on Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to everybody. This is the equivalent of our 4th of July holiday. This is when, on this day in 1867, Canada joined Confederation, and the British North America Act came into effect, and that's when basically we became Canada. This is formerly Dominion Day, but it was changed to Canada Day in 1982. So there's a little bit of your history lesson. I hope I got it all correct. I'm here smoking my favorite pipe, my Calabresi Metamorfosi sandblasted apple that my wife gave me for Father's Day. This is gonna be its maiden voyage. In it, I have some plum pudding, and I will be drinking Stella Artois beer because it's really hot outside today. Let me spark this up. It's a bit of a char light, not a great one. Look at that. I actually cleaned it up a little bit. I put some coconut oil. I did that to all my pipes. Gives it a little bit of a sheen. It's another part of the experiment to see what happens with coconut oil. I didn't put too much of it. Just rubbed a little bit in, let it dry for 20 minutes. Rubbed a little bit more in, let it dry for 20 minutes, and then I buffed it out with a terry cloth. So we'll see how that goes. I really have to say the draw on a 9mm is much better than that of a 6mm. So Buckeye Piper, John, he has a 600 sub GA going on right now. Congratulations, John. 600 is amazing. If you haven't subbed his channel, he's got an amazing channel. He's a Navy veteran for the US. He tells some Navy stories. He also has growing up 80s videos, which I love because it reminds me of my youth, and I tend to remember a lot of the stuff he's talking about. And he also has some leadership videos, and he has a lot of cigar reviews. Right now he's enjoying his vacation up at his trailer. Hope he's having a good time. Just built the deck. Very well done, John. Congratulations. And I wasn't sure if I was going to do a VR for your July 4th Independence Day GA because well, your 600 sub GA I should say, because well, we don't really have a July 4th holiday, but we do have July 1st, which is today. So good. Anyhow, if I'm not admissible, it's fine. I'm gonna tell the story regardless. So it was 1994, and it was June 28th. It was leading up into the Canada Day long weekend, and our beloved captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the National Hockey League team, got traded. And I was very distraught by this. Now, leading up to this, I had sworn and made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to drink any alcohol until either I turned 25 or the Leafs won the Stanley Cup, whichever came first. Needless to say, if I was waiting for them to win the Stanley Cup only, I'd still be waiting. But so I had sworn off alcohol. It had been a few years since I touched anything. Mind you, I was only turning 20 at the time, but being of Portuguese descent, we've been dibbling and dabbling in alcohol for a long time. So, you know, nothing serious, but you know, it's not like it would have been the first time I had started drinking. So our captain, Wendell Clark, our beloved captain, and he still is beloved to this day, was traded for a relatively unknown Swedish young player from the Quebec Nordiques, Mats Sundin. I was so distraught. I was so upset that whole bet went into shambles. And on that weekend, this trade happened June 28th. That weekend of July 1st, me and my brother, we just started drinking and drinking. We're up at a cottage, we were drinking and drinking. And sure enough, after a long time of not drinking and then spending pretty much a whole night of drinking, you can imagine what happened. Basically, my brother and I that entire night were taking turns worshiping the porcelain god that night. He would go, I'd be in bed, I'd wait, he'd finish, then I'd go, and I'd go worship the porcelain god myself. It was a horrible night. But in the end, Mats Sundin had a Hall of Fame career with the Leafs, and Wendell Clark ended up getting traded back to the Leafs at a later point. He's now like an ambassador for the Leafs. He does a lot of charity work. So it was a win-win situation in that sense. But as far as, you know, Canada Day or, you know, July 4th is probably when the hangover probably ended for me that weekend. But it ended up working out for the best. That is my Canada Day long weekend story. I hope you guys are all well. I'm gonna finish enjoying this plum pudding, and this so far is a pretty good smoker. The draw is amazing. I'm really liking it. John, congratulations again. I hope you're well and enjoying your vacation. I hope everybody in Canada is having a great Canada Day, and I hope our cousins and friends to the south in the US have an awesome July 4th weekend as well. Cheers, everybody. When you smoke a pipe, you smile at life. Cheers.